What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Alphaville as we continue through their 1997 album Control. As always, big thank you to Yun for this larger deep dive and all those who've been part of it now going back a few years or those who've joined more recently. But yes, we're continuing through Salvation 1997 and the next track is Control. A single word title, those are tougher to get a read on, but the meaning of the word itself is pretty clear. To have the dominating ability to manipulate or influence something. Now, control can be good or bad. It can be more comprehensive or more partial or temporary, but the idea of having the ability to steer or otherwise influence something is at the very least a greater degree of agency. Now, what that might mean in a given scene or narrative is entirely unclear because it is, again, a single word title, but I will try to follow what I can. This is Alphaville, the track is Control, and it's from their 1997 album Salvation.
Pretty baby, don't you know times they are changing. Every little moment we grow up, we lose control. Life's a loaded gun with no direction, and it keeps you on the run. It has no mercy. Mom and Daddy went to war, never coming back no more. Did you ever think they made you whole again? Maybe someone dropped the bomb just right into the middle of your soul. They control you, got to get out of control again. No dress rehearsal when you bring that in. Everything seems wrong to thee, nurtured from the poison of reality that has no mercy. All your friends went for the thrill, now it's yours to grab the kill. Did you think you'd ever getting whole again? Maybe someone sent a priest with some religion cooking in a bowl. They control, you got to get out of control again.
I love that. I mean, of course, I am especially inclined to enjoy 90s dance music sonics, and this one is very much a trance tune, vocal trance, but it's beyond what I would call like synth dance, meaning this is like formally electronic trance music. And in that regard, I enjoy the kick drum. It's like one of those kick drums that sounds like it's like slightly delayed from the like rhythmic pocket, but I think it's just like the heaviest part of the kick drum is on the back end, so it hits a little different because it's again like the real thump of the kick drum is on the back side of it rather than the front. And I enjoy the like really energetic synth bass. There's some like a lead keyboard line that is like also, you know, very quick and pacey, but I especially love that like electronic woodwind or like flute type line that has that sort of ascending quality, which I notice especially in the back half. It has to be mentioned, like when it started I was like, dude, is that really Marian on vocals? He sounds like very different here. It's very like theatrical and, you know, like over the top type of delivery, you know, lots of charisma but with a bit of eccentricity. Very much enjoyed it. Now when he gets into the more like expressive, like normal singing vocals, it's, you know, unmistakably Marian. But yeah, like in that very first opening bit I was wondering, like, is this somebody else on vocals? But I think it's just Marian like affecting a vocal character, if you will. Lyrically, I'm not sure. I mean, there's lines that, you know, they sound like someone who isn't in control. You know, it's like daddy went away to war and he's, you know, never coming home, and like dropping a bomb in your soul and so on. But the essence of the chorus seems to be like, you've got to get control again. So again, indicating that there's been a loss of control, but sort of normatively or prescriptively suggesting what needs to be done. And thus, you know, there's still a degree of hope, even if by implication it's that, you know, you're out of control, you're being influenced by external forces that are beyond your control. So yeah, again, I love the stylings. It's like a, you know, 90s rave trance tune, but with, you know, like pop type vocals. So yeah, very compelling, very pacey, you know, like not crazy fast, but certainly faster than a typical like synth pop or synth dance tune. So yeah, very much up my alley in terms of the sonics. I very much enjoy Marian's slightly atypical vocals, even if again, by the time you get to the chorus, it's the kind of expressive, florid singing that I certainly know him to be not only capable of, but typically providing. And then, as I said, lyrically, I'm not sure what's going on, and I think maybe some of the lines are, you know, you could read them more figuratively or literally, but definitely there's a lot going on thematically, so I will enjoy successive listens, and of course, let me know if you have any insight. But yeah, a very cool tune from an album that I'm enjoying, and obviously, you know, we've heard different kinds of albums from them. They do seem to keep reinventing themselves, or perhaps better, expanding their sonic palette as we've gone forward through the album. So that is a very cool sign of a band that, you know, doesn't just rest comfortably in a groove. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, there's some punk bands I listen to and some other bands where like they have their sound and they keep pursuing their sound, and, you know, while there might be some variation in that, you know, they kind of stay in that range, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I do also enjoy a band that, you know, takes risks, because that, you know, if you are altering or evolving your sound notably, there might be some people who are like, wait, this isn't like the previous album, this isn't like the band I knew, and they might lose interest. So it is a bit of a risk to keep trying new things and new stylings sonically, but I respect the band for doing that. So in any case, let me know what you think, and I will be coming back with a Marian Gold solo reaction in a moment. Peace.